Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo.
Come, oh, yo, yo. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. From wherever you are watching from, remember that the first thing you should do is to give me that thumb up. Not in the comments, under the video. You have to leave the chat room, right? And then be able to use that thumb up. It's under the video, right? Because once you settled in now, the next hour, we are just going to be busy dissecting so many things tonight. So do you mind that we should do that quickly before we settle down? Go out there, give that thumb up as you are joining. And then if you haven't subscribed to Maiyegun's Diary Political yet, I think you should do it now, right? You won't regret it. Ask my friends. Very, very easy. Thank you very much once again for joining me for another episode on Maiyegun's Diary Politico. This time around, I feel like I should be kind of more open and kind of more accommodating of so many interests that culminated into this Ulabalu. They call it Ulabalu, right? Where everybody is now at a dagger down. We either divide this whole thing or we're going to continue to kill ourselves. So, and why some people are thinking that there should be other way around, I mean, to avoid the bloodshed, to avoid the bloodbath, to bring about unity, to they, you know, as they imagine. While others are saying, stop trying, stop thinking about it. You can't really help it. Everybody is now at a crossroad. What is going to be the next situation of Nigeria? Where is this headed? Where is this going to? This confusion has, led to so many antagonistic engagements on social media, simply because some people felt like they understand Nigeria better. However, at what cost is the reason why some are saying, no, we will no longer pay with our lives. We will no longer pay or pay with the lives of our people in order just to keep Nigeria one. At whose benefit, in whose benefit and at whose expense is the unity of Nigeria going to be? When the characters who are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring justice, equity, equality, and pure, pure openness that gets everybody involved in the day-to-day running of their own lives, which is the country. The people who are saddled with this responsibility are able to continue to hold on to power simply because they are able to keep the people divided in many fronts. The most vital tool that they have been very much using repeatedly to keep Nigeria one, even though Nigeria is bleeding, is the weapon of poverty, the weaponized poverty, which now denied an average Nigerian an opportunity to be able to reason normally. How can somebody who is hungry? We now have an army, millions of our people who are currently trapped in that poverty of hunger. Politicians leverage on this to ensure that the people will never have the strength, they will never be able to sit and think, or even have the strength of confronting them or challenging them. And this is why they continue to preach unity. How do you preach unity to the people that you are in every day? In fact, your government represents injustice, inequality, nepotism, religious fanaticism, then cover up, corruption, things that keeps people more in poverty, divided, and increase in crime are never instrument of unity, but they continue to manage it. While they preach unity, they work more on division. Why should anybody think about this? Why should anybody in their right mind, in their own right senses, right, by any means, defend the president of a country who has been in power for 6 years, who has been having a health issue that has prompted him to continue to seek medical help elsewhere for 6 years? Who in his own right senses will stand up and defend such and say, well, he has the right to relax? Relax. When the Nigerian army killed over 17 innocent Nigerians in Benue State, simply because they said armed bandits killed Nigerian soldiers. And in response to that, the Nigerian army moved down to Benue and they killed 70 innocent people. While the soldiers are killing people, right, they also burned down the palace of their king, burned down over 200 houses in Benue. How is that different from what the terrorists who invaded Benue years back, and they turned Benue State to graveyard, destroyed what used to be the food basket of the country? Their governor, there was an assassination attempt on their governor, and the Nigerian army moved there and they killed innocent people. How is that different from the terrorism that is kidnapping women, killing innocent people, destroying farms, and sending everybody to the arm shop now? Like, we need a gun. Everyone needs a gun. We all need to go and get a gun. Who is pushing us to that? The same people who are preaching peace, preaching unity. But let me tell you something tonight. The reason why the bloody revolution that they dread a lot, they actually dread that a lot. That what if the people finally found the connection of what should normally bring everybody together and go after these criminals whose only business in government is to keep you poor, divided, and kill you. And we have proved that repeatedly that Nigeria is not working. That is not a news. All right. Why is Nigeria not working? That is also not a news. We know. But there are people saddled with responsibility who continue to enjoy the privilege of being called decision makers, opinion molders, and in general, the government. These people who enjoy these privileges are completely incompetent, corrupt, and in the aftermath of that, consequentially, the consequences of their own corruption, nepotism, and the injustice that they have weaponized in that country, democratized in that country. The consequences of that is a disunited country. How do you bring a disunited country together? Is by being honest. When you admit to this, then you can begin to then look into your own solution, my own solution, everybody's solution, and you'll find out that that is the common ground that they don't want you to find. A common ground where an average northerner, it doesn't matter, even though he's been brainwashed to believe that being a Muslim, being a northerner, is privileged to be a Nigerian. Meanwhile, in reality, he is worse off. And that is the truth. When you put the statistics together, you will realize one thing. When they put the scale, everything all together, you will find that the poverty capital of the world that Nigeria attained today, when you break it down state by state, put them together region by region, and then, put all the factor everything in, you will realize that the chunk of this old data is coming from the northern Nigeria. And here is the twist. Don't see it as a cause yet. Just see your own indolence, your own possible ignorance, or maybe your own support, willing support for this injustice against yourselves. Look at it this way. You were supposed to be privileged. You were supposed to be, with the power you have, you were supposed to be protected, right? But in reality, today, the terrorists who are currently enjoying the protection of the criminals in government in Nigeria, these terrorists that are enjoying these privileges are continuing to destroy everything that could become, or that should be, the economic backbone of the northern Nigeria. What is the economic backbone of northern Nigeria? Just like the rest of Nigeria, from the world beginning, right? From the world goal, it is agriculture. More people are more agriculturists, pastoralists, as they would love to be called, which means all they need is a space that is safe for them to grow their crops, harvest their crops, transport their crops to where they will be needed, and make some money for themselves, feed their family, and take care of themselves. While the government's business is to make sure that they have access to that. As a northerner, today, you are supposed to be in control of the presidency. That is the federal government. All of the money. You are supposed to be in control of the judiciary, which means if anybody goes against your security or economic survival, he is your enemy. And whoever is defending him is your enemy. And when you look at it, the Boko Haram terrorists, they are kidnapping women, kidnapping children, selling off human beings as slaves from northern Nigeria. They started it 10 years ago. You have even been deceived that changing government is all you needed. Now you change the government. It is no longer Boko Haram. You now have bandits, Fulani terrorists. So all of you know about these Fulani terrorists and the communities they have destroyed. Your people are now refugees. In 6 years, refugee numbers grow from 2 million to over 10 million. Borno State alone, out of 27 local governments or thereabout they only have just about 2 local governments that you can say partially working. The rest is the state capital. What do you make of that? You have over 400,000 Borno people as refugees in Niger and Chad. If you don't believe it, I mean, Google is a friend. Today, the governor of Borno State is more popular, not because he's providing security for the people of Borno, or at least for coming from the northern Nigeria, a region, especially northeast, a region ravaged by terrorism, where their economic survival has been completely destroyed. They are now relying on every stipend that they get from Abuja. Now, their governor is now popular, not because he's rebuilding the homes for the people to return back home safely. No. Okay? He is building what he is getting, using the resources for 27 local governments, using that in the state capital, since there is no longer administration in all these areas. They are now controlled by terrorists, different kind of terrorists. They have ceded all these areas to these terrorists, right? Now, he is popular because he is sharing money to the survivor of terrorism. He is sharing food in large numbers to the survivor of terrorism. This is what is called weaponization of poverty. You know what? Those who survive terrorism, who should be protected, provided for health-wise and all of that, they have been turned to beggars who now survive. There is no plan in getting them back to their communities. There is no plan in getting them back to their lives where they can feed themselves, where they can fend for themselves, right? There is no plan. And I can give you these examples in different states in northern Nigeria. That is the reality today. 6 years after they were told all they needed was just to get somebody who is a Muslim, who loved enough, who is a Fulani man, who understand that the northern Nigeria needs to survive. But surprisingly, the survival of the northern Nigeria, according to the elite of Nigeria, northern Nigeria, is not about self-sufficiency. It is not about self-survival. Look at them. What is about to tear Nigeria into pieces today is because of Fulani terrorists, AK-47 wielding terrorists, who are now occupying different forests, not just in northern Nigeria, all over Nigeria, not just occupying the forest, perpetrating the same terrorism that has rendered the northern Nigeria economically prostrate. The southern Nigeria, who relies more as well on agricultural produce from our rural areas, our small ant farmers, all of these are now under the threat of Fulani AK-47 wielding terrorists. Now, the same way that the same people who believed that all they needed was just to take over power in order to protect a northern child, a northern girl, provide they give them education, provide security for the women, allow the farmers to be able to produce and be self-sufficient. All of these promises, all of this whole thing, they were lies. Because today, not just the northern Nigeria, even in southern Nigeria, people are dying every day. Then I ask a question: who is then going to protect who now to keep Nigeria one? Because as we speak, the Nigerian army, they are more interested in destroying their own citizens. People who bought them the guns, who bought them the bullets, who paid for all those choppers, who is paying, the people who are paying their salary, paying for their training. Nigerians, the soldiers in Nigeria, they are turning their guns on them while they are protecting and pampering terrorists. To justify this, in 6 years, Buhari kept faith in ensuring that the total control of the Nigerian military, Nigeria defense, Nigeria armory, everything that has to do with the defense budget is handled, managed, covered, procured, supplied by the Fulani terrorists he appointed. This is also a fact that you cannot dispute. Starting from the Ministry of Defense, go to the Ministry of Finance, go to procurement, go through the contractors, look at those in charge of defense arm, supplies and all of that. You will find an average Fulani man there. Yet, They are also in control of the judiciary, which means if they had a problem, if there was no law to prosecute terrorists in Nigeria before they came to power, they control the National Assembly. They can make laws. They control the judiciary. They can execute and execute the law or interpret the law. I mean, they control the police. They control the military. They control the prison. They control everything. Yet, for 6 years, they couldn't protect the borders. Rather, for 6 years, right? Same way Buhari couldn't build a single hospital. Just the Hausa Clinic or the National Hospital Abuja, upgrade it, produce and provide good infrastructure for it, supply good equipment, train the people, get the doctors, get adequate hands, and stop medical tourism. For 6 years, he couldn't do it. After spending over 18 billion naira on Hausa Clinic, a national clinic or the clinic attached to the residence of the president, the vice president, and all the top government officials in Nigeria. For 6 years, they have spent over 18 billion spending on that clinic. But today, when the president needed health care, just ordinary routine checkup, not an emergency, they have to fly him to London. This will be the 12th time he is flying to London. Apart from the 18 billion they spent in Nigeria, apart from millions of people that will never have access to such medical care, Buhari is changing Nigerian naira to British pounds. Then he is also fueling the private jet, presidential jet. Also bringing in so many people. He is diaper changer, he is kunu maker, he is injection insulin shooter. The person that will be is dementia psychologist, and so many other people from Nigeria, and those that will continue to remind him that he is still the president, the president of Nigeria. All of these people were packed in a plane. They will all collect what is called ESTA code in British pounds, paid for by the taxpayers in Nigeria, who are languishing in IDP camp, refugee camps in their own country, who are languishing in refugee camps outside Nigeria. Many, many people, when you go on social media, you will see many, many Nigerians who are begging for help in Nigeria, begging that they should get help for medical help. Please, we need 50,000. We need 100,000. Please save the life of my mother. We need 500,000. Because Nigeria has no facility to care for our poor, but they have a lot of resources budgeted for the elite, including Buhari. How would anybody, how could anybody come out and defend this by all standards? For whatever, guys, it makes us feel boiling. We feel like, do you really think we should keep quiet while this goes on? And at the same time, when people say, we know why we are here, we know why Buhari will do this, and anybody in that same position, we know why people will continue to be the leverage, and we know why nobody will save you. And unity of Nigeria is just your blood that is being waited. You are waiting for them to spill directly or indirectly. This is why when they come around to deceive you because you are a northerner, because you are a southerner, because you are a Christian, or because you are a Muslim, or because you are a Yoruba man, an Igbo man, a Hausa man, Fulani man, and every one of you who come from everywhere, as long as you don't belong to the class of the elite, the people who are mortgaging your lives, who are mortgaging your life and bargaining your life like you are the pawn on their chess table. Once you don't see yourself this way, and you see the picture bigger, the bigger picture, and you see it clearly, you will begin to make an informed and reformed decisions. And by so doing, that is the connection they don't want you to get. The moment you get that connection, it will make sense to you that if Nigeria is not going to change from the nonsense they put together now, that we all have to continue to die in poverty, in the hands of the military, in the hands of the police, while they continue to pretend to give you this pseudo democracy. When you get that hold of that link, when you grab that missing link, you will not see anything wrong in breaking up of Nigeria, because you realize, has Nigeria been in your interest? They were supposed not just to preach unity, they were supposed to act justly, stop injustice, be honest and sincere, equity, equality, and stop impunity. When all this and nepotism, which is the baba of all, at the end of the day, you might find that missing link. You can't trust them. You must not trust them. Whatever they do, they are buying time. And they said, don't talk about it. Are you trying to cause war in Nigeria? Hello. Where have you been living? In the cave? Under the ground? Or you've been in coma? Please, let me remind you. Today in Nigeria, a day will not go by without a report of either, number one, you will get a report of more than 50 people killed. Those are the reported. And let me be honest with you, right? That is not the actual figure. They call it summarized figure. May you never become a statistic. In Nigeria, human life is a statistic to them. They will say how many people died. They say 75. They say, 75. Are you sure? They say, no. Now 73. They say, okay, put a round figure. How many? Let's just say 60. So even if 100 people die, they've summarized the figure. It is going to be a statistic. How do you live in such country and continue to defend such ideology? And the people who told you that unity is what you need continue behind you to do everything to keep you divided. And you need to know, how do you then indulge them? Is it ignorantly or deliberately? It's all up to you. There is this chart. But before I play that for you, I want to say this. Now that we are getting on now, do me a favor. Before we continue, you can quickly give me that thumb up now, okay? And at the same time, if you are yet to subscribe to Maiyegun's Diary Political, you can also do that quickly, because I'm going to share this video with you. It's so important, and I want you to listen to it. While you are listening to it, go ahead, subscribe onto Maiyegun's Diary Political, set your notification, and at the same time, give me that thumb up. Watch this for a starter.
To understand that. And then secondly, there is the irresponsibility of a political and military elite in Nigeria. The irresponsibility of the political elite by cashing in on this poverty. We all know what started Boko Haram. Everybody knows. It was started in Borno by the then Borno governor, Ali Sharif. He is still roaming the streets freely. Yes. When Yusuf was caught alive, who created it? The ECOMOG. Who created the ECOMOG? We have to look at the root cause in order to find a solution. The root cause of that problem, as we know it today, is Ali Sharif. He used them for his own political machinery. He armed them as his political thugs. He even made one of them a commissioner. But they became too powerful. And they had no option but to try an elimination, which was not possible, and which we are all paying for. The military came in, and they cashed in. And they have turned the Northeast into a cash cow. Military jumbo budgets, unaccounted for. I remember Jonathan was spending 2 billion naira every day on security. But there was no security. Hundreds and thousands of our people were slaughtered. And we also know that the army, more than anything else in Borno and Yobe, have contributed and enforced this so-called terrorism. Terrorism has become a multi-billion-dollar industry. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It is not only national, but it is international. But let us talk of Nigeria, because that is what concerns me. We know, I have been part of a committee that investigated the atrocities of the Boko Haram. And that committee indicted the military more than anything else. There is no house in Borno that the military has not either killed or raped or plundered. There is no house in Borno. There has been committee after committee set up by the government. And the government has failed to bring these people to book. In fact, this current leadership of the military in Nigeria today are an extension of that one. And this government has failed to even acknowledge the reports of those investigations. We all know today that in this government, papers have been given, investigations have been made into the atrocities and the corruption in the military. We all know today that the Air Force, the papers or the investigation of the Air Force has been made public. That of the Navy has been made public. But that of the Army has been swept under the carpet by this government. Because they are not only sustaining it, they are not only retaining those culprits, but they are still serving in various capacities in this government, as a government that is supposed to be fighting corruption more than any other place, or more than any other thing. Now, with this, we should also look at the irresponsibility of the political elite. The political elite in this country have done nothing but to cash in on this poverty, on this ill education of the mass majority of Nigerians. They use them, they have used you and turned your psyche into slaves, slaves of religious and ethnic manipulations. No one has ever seen the son of a governor even going out to campaign. No one has ever seen the son or the daughter of the president going out to campaign. And no son of even a councillor, not to talk of a senator or a chairman or a governor that has been abducted or that has been slaughtered on the streets. But the idiots that call themselves the masses allow themselves to be used through religion or ethnicity to divert attention.
It's a long speech, but I believe you picked the key points from what she's saying. That's how much and how terrible they have used and continue to manipulate the people. But there is more. When these criminals decided to hijack power in Nigeria to lead everybody to this precipice of balkanization, which is pretty much inevitable, right? They had a friend in America. There is this American ambassador to Nigeria, John Campbell, who said something about Boko Haram. And in fact, he kind of eulogized Boko Haram on the road to this perdition. When American government under Obama were also involved, he was the person who actually laid the carpet and who laid the foundation for the Obama government involvement, which led to Obama government hosting the Northern Governors Summit inside White House in America. So I managed to capture the statement of John Campbell, right? And one of those governors who traveled to America after John Campbell stylishly told us that Boko Haram, they were religious sects, Muslim, who are now fighting the Christian government, a corrupt Christian government in Nigeria. Now, let me break it down for you. America, by then, under Obama, their foreign policy then about Boko Haram was, one, Boko Haram is a terrorist organization who are trying to change Nigeria to Islamic country. But however, their fight is against a corrupt Christian government in Nigeria. But Muhammadu Buhari, being a Muslim, will be able to tame the terrorists and stop them from advancing into terrorizing Nigeria, because Buhari is not corrupt and he is a Muslim. An American ambassador to Nigeria, John Campbell, said this in 2014, 2015. Just a reminder.
Among other things, Boko Haram is now a political football in the run-up to the Nigerian national elections. General Muhammadu Buhari and the opposition accuse Jonathan of failing to provide for the security of Nigerian citizens, and they promise to defeat Boko Haram. Buhari is also campaigning against corruption, which appears ubiquitous under Jonathan. For his part, Jonathan is emphasizing the recent apparent military successes against Boko Haram in the Northeast. Under these circumstances, if Boko Haram is a peasants' revolt in an Islamic context against a corrupt government dominated by Christians that refuses to address human rights abuses, what policy options are available to the United States? Up to now, the Obama administration and the West generally has been concerned to support the electoral process, seeing free, fair, and credible elections that are accepted by most Nigerians as crucial to moving forward. That die will be cast on March 28th. With the postponement of the elections from February 14, it is hard for me to imagine that any outcome will be accepted by most Nigerians. The United States also implemented a small counterterrorism training mission with a new Nigerian military unit that has not been credibly accused of human rights abuses. However, the Jonathan government abruptly and unilaterally ended it in December. Since then, U.S. military training has been focused on Niger and Cameroon, not Nigeria. Abuja appears unwilling to accept the accountability and transparency required by a U.S. military relationship. However, there is a humanitarian crisis in northern Nigeria with huge numbers of refugees and displaced persons. There is a food security emergency. In some areas, there's been no plowing or harvesting for almost 4 years. Eventually, the international community will almost certainly become involved. When that happens, it will be important for the United States to show leadership, as it did with the international effort to counter Ebola. Nevertheless, the hard truth is that the United States and the international community have few options and little leverage over either Abuja or Boko Haram. Resolution of the current crisis will be dependent on Nigerians themselves and not outsiders.
That's just a reminder. For those of you who paid attention to everything he said, did you hear where he said Boko Haram were peasant Muslim fighters, not as terrorists? So America refused to designate them as terrorist organization until Donald Trump came, and he designated them as a terrorist organization, but never really gave Americans support to fight the terrorism, right? So this was the foundation. American ambassador to Nigeria reported back that, you see this Boko Haram killing, bombing places in Abuja, they are just peasant Muslim fighters who are fighting a corrupt Christian government. That was the narrative, because that was what the northern governors, the northern political class, who had a northern Nigerian summit with Barack Obama inside the White House in America in 2014. Do you understand that now? And one of them who was part of that delegation, his name is Shetima. He was the governor of Borno State, when that statement was made, okay? And the person that replaced that Shetima is today's Zulum, the guy that is sharing food to people in IDP camp, taking pictures, helping people to carry their firewood on the road because of insecurity and all of that. The same guy that the Boko Haram attempted to kill 3 times so far, yeah, is the guy that succeeded Shetima. Now, let me play you some this audio, okay? It was out towards the 2019 election, but Nigeria is gone and very gone. Election can't save Nigeria, so they still went on to extend the jihad that these criminals have brought upon Nigeria. After they succeeded in convincing America that we need your support, our boys that are causing all this problem, Boko Haram, they are doing it because of the corruption and the human rights abuses of Jonathan's government. It is Jonathan who is deliberately shooting and killing innocent people. Please, we need power and we can protect ourselves. Power to protect themselves. Shetima. Then he put a call through to Amosun, Idekunle Amosun, after the election, when they were waiting to take over power. And we captured that. This is not a new recorded phone call, okay? But I want you to listen very, very attentively to the wordings, the conversation. I'm going to add my own view. Because you know why I want to play you this audio? Today, the governor of Zamfara State, Matawale, is a PDP governor. He is the governor who currently houses the terrorists in Zamfara, where school children are being kidnapped, women are being raped, farms are being destroyed, multitudes are being killed daily. And just because the terrorists have found gold in Zamfara, and when he look at all of this chaos, he decided to cash in on it. So he said, everyone who brings gold, Zamfara state government will buy the gold from you. So Zamfara state government will go and put the gold in a foreign reserve. So in the process, he gave amnesty to terrorists who are terrorizing his own people. Recently, he got tired. After spending over 930 million naira in funding and paying ransom to terrorists, to the bandits, he was tired. He said they should report themselves and hand over their weapons, or else he's going to tell the military to go after them. Now, that same criminal governor who is using a free money from Abuja to pay terrorists in his own state, terrorists killing his own people, that same terrorist guy, he came out today and he said, the London protest against Buhari's medical vacation is a protest against the North, and it is being sponsored by the Southern Nigeria. Same way, they are gaslighting and tribal profiling the Igbos in Nigeria, whereby if anything goes wrong anywhere, they will be glad to go after an average Igbo man or woman in the northern Nigeria, slaughter them, and just to prove a point, right? Just same way they are gaslighting the Igbos in Nigeria today, is just something that, funnily, sadly too, after gaining power, they wanted to entrench it. And this was caught on tape. Because this Matawale, who is, when you see him next time, is going to be talking about unity. We need to unite. But when you read through them, when you listen to them, they are defining the unity. Buhari is president of the North. If not a state governor or any political class in the northern Nigeria, they will not see NSAS protest as a protest against the northern Nigeria. They will not see London protest, which is just to protest against Buhari, who couldn't provide health care, security for the people of Nigeria that he has been leading for 6 years, and he took your money, flew to London to get the same rest, medical care. So they will use it and say, well, it is Christian versus Muslim. It is the North versus South. That animal came out today and he said, those who are protesting in London against Buhari, they are protesting against the North, and they will not accept it. Before you know it, they are soon going to say London protest is sponsored by Biafra. London protest is sponsored by IPOB. Because that is the only way They can keep you more divided as much as they are paying people to go to London, £75. Go and stand in front of the house and show it to the world that you love Buhari from London. They go there tomorrow. I'm going to be in London on Sunday. I want to see those Buhari days, the Buhari didderness, the premium Buhari denotus abroad, who are also going to show up. But one thing I don't know is there were so many today in that place who came to tell Buhari to continue to rest so that he can continue to rest in peace. I don't know if they will be paying them £75 every day, or maybe it's a flat payment. When they pay you £75, it's for the whole week. So you have to go there certain days a week. Everybody will gather. They will hold a banner and they will tell people to pray for Buhari. Why Buhari is inside that house, receiving the treatment that the people in IDP camp in Nigeria, that even the average people, some of you who are not refugees, but who don't consider yourself as slaves, healthcare that you will never have access to, is enjoying it. So I want to see them tomorrow. So they continue to leverage on that division. And I'm telling you this, it is not today. And if they think talking about it is what will put Nigeria in trouble, tell them, what is making Fulani terrorists kill everybody now? Is it because we are talking about it? Well, I don't think so. Listen to Shetima. This was about 3 years ago.
Alaji, congratulations. Thank you very much, Kule. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Honestly, I accept your congratulations, even though I'm PDP. Because I remember one time when the fighting in Borno, when our people were being killed left and right. Then what is it, Alaji? I said, do you remember one time when our people were being killed in Borno State, left and right, Bauchi, Gombe, everywhere in the north? Of course. I remember you were saying that was there any Southerner among us, we were the one killing ourselves. I always remember this statement, Mr. Kule. But look at this today now. Today our brother is in charge, and I'm sure he made it clear to the world. The first thing he said was that he was moving the command of Nigerian army to Maiduguri until when Boko Haram is over. So if not your brother as a president, who will do it for you? But we could have done it to anybody in Nigeria. But you can see that some people refuse to do it for us. So really, really, today I understand why we have to have the presidency, honestly. No, it's like that, Kule. Kule is like that. Because how can anybody convince us that some miscreants cannot be dealt with by Nigerian army? Why can't we believe it was deliberately left? Even if there is no involvement of government hand in it, why can't we believe that it was deliberate? Let them kill themselves. Well, it has come out even very clear, because it was at a point in our campaign, they were saying that by the killings of Boko Haram, there will be no population again. In fact, let me tell you why the North insisted that Jonathan has to go, because we had the plan that if Jonathan continues, the same problem will happen in Kano, the same problem will happen in Sokoto, the same problem will happen in Jos and Ebro until when our population is depleted. No. We have had a wonderful experience, honestly. In order to avoid the problem, that's what I said. So whether he has said or not, the North it was clear voting now. What could he have done? Remember what Babangida did for us? Babangida, you see, what happened was, even when Babangida did it, you understand? Do you get me? The bulk of the population that voted was from the North. And Rimi said it. Since Babangida was in Abuja, Governor Rimi of Kano State, then, former governor of Kano State, he said, if you are in Abiola in Lagos, Babangida will have said it is Yoruba that did it. So Abiola should fly to Kano, they will swear him as president, and they will stand their ground. Before we know, they rallied around Abiola, they said, don't go to North, if you go, they will kill you. Notice what happened? Do you understand? No. So I'm coming now. So Babangida got the... And then, Abacha that incarcerated him for many years. I'm coming now. I'm coming. Before we are talking about the cancellation now, the cancellation of the elections. And two, didn't you not see that even from the West, there were people who supported there are big men who joined in the cancellation of the elections. But whatever it is, at that time, it was nobody was killing the Yorubas left and right. Babangida was virtually betraying everybody. And today, have you not seen him on TV? Have you not seen how he was looking? Is God not wonderful? Did you not see Babangida? Even though I have promised, as from today, so long as he's my brother from the North, Even if he's eating everybody in Nigeria fresh, you come out with Nigerian man leg eating. I will not say it's bad again. Because I have learned how to support my people from what I have seen with Igbos and some people in Nigeria with Jonathan.
Man, you must thank God for Yoruba. Yoruba supported Buhari. Otherwise, we don't have come.
No, I'm coming, please. I'm coming. Let me tell you one part. I'm coming. Listen to me, Kule. A section of Yoruba supported Buhari. Listen to me, please. Let us make this clear. You understand? We are all politicians.
Yes.
The Tinebus, since 1960s, since the Oyibo left the country, Yoruba was told one word. We are first Yorubas. You are first Yoruba before you are a Muslim, you are a Christian or Nigerian.
Yes.
So or not so?
Yeah, you are right.
Abi? Okay.
Yes, you are right.
Now, all along, a Yoruba man, whoever he is, whether Muslim or Christian, preferred anybody in this house to rule him than a Hausa man from the north. That's the truth about it. So, fortunately, I'm coming, sir. Let me learn. Fortunately, the center is controlled by non-Muslim, non-Northerners. Are you getting me? And Jonathan, fortunately for the North, Jonathan decided to use religion and slice the Yorubas to the extent, for the first time, Yorubas were divided religiously. To the extent Muslims, Yorubas stood their ground and said they were not supporting Jonathan. They even refused to attend the meetings of the Jonathan. The papers are there, their statements are there in the papers. So or not so, sir?
No, I like this.
It is there. That's the truth. It's there. Even when he went, there were some few Muslim leaders who met Jonathan. The Supreme Council of Islam of Western Nigeria or Yoruba land came out clearly and said no, they disagreed. Do you get me? We know the population of Yoruba, close to 80%, or let's say close to 60% are Muslim. This man constituted a national conference. This is the Yorubas that were saying it. We read it and we had them saying it.
Yes.
So that succeeded in dividing the Yoruba themselves. Now, two, the humiliation, whatever they did to us, our own was that let them kill us and reduce our population. But at least they still know that we are significant politically and they allowed us to maintain some position. But in the case of Yorubas, they were sliced out of the whole system. So also.
So or no so? Now that's the former governor of Borno State talking to Ibikunle Amosun, who is also a former governor of Ogun State in 2015. They both came out to deny it, not like genuinely deny it, right? They said that recording may be fake, right? But however, I have another part I want you to listen to. Continue.
Fortunately for the North, Jonathan decided to use religion and slice the Yorubas to the extent, for the first time, Yorubas were divided religiously. To the extent Muslims, Yorubas stood their ground and said they were not supporting Jonathan. They even refused to attend the meetings of the Jonathan. The papers are there, their statements are there in the papers. So or not so, sir?
No, I like this.
It is there. That's the truth. It's there. Even when he went, there were some few Muslim leaders who met Jonathan. The Supreme Council of Islam of Western Nigeria or Yoruba land came out clearly and said no, they disagreed. Do you get me? We know the population of Yoruba, close to 80%, or let's say close to 60% are Muslim. This man constituted a national conference. This is the Yorubas that were saying it. We read it and we had them saying it.
Yes.
So that succeeded in dividing the Yoruba themselves. Now, two, the humiliation, whatever they did to us, our own was that let them kill us and reduce our population. But at least they still know that we are significant politically and they allowed us to maintain some position. But in the case of Yorubas, they were sliced out of the whole system. So or not so? That was how Tinubu and
the issue of Boko Haram, if we have to talk about Boko Haram, it's not from the south now.
I am coming now. Let me forget about Boko Haram now. We brought about the Yoruba politics. Now, Tinubu and the Yorubas generally carried what happened to them and went to Kaduna and met them in Kaduna and begged them that we have to put our head together. Look, sir, let me tell you the truth and find out. At a point, the Yoruba, being humiliated under Jonathan, were even considering to cut off and put their Oduduwa Republic. But they realized If they do that, the Igbos were completely in charge of finance, civil service, security, and everything. If they dare do that,
now East and the North, they enjoy
exactly. I'm coming now. The Yorubas now.
You didn't benefit at all.
I'm coming, yes. The Yoruba, at a point, the Yoruba intelligence, at a point, realized that if they cut off, the Igbos will finish them. If they stay as it is and Igbo continue ruling, they will be completely finished. Before Jonathan, significant part of the economy, who are the accountants are Yorubas, who are the judiciary and lawyers are Yorubas, who are the civil service are Yorubas. Today you can't find any one of them. So or not so. So that's why the Yorubas say, even if we want to leave this country, we must get this power out of the hand of the Igbos and reposition ourselves.
The Northerners really benefited from that, Jonathan, too much, Alaji.
Hey,
we have the calculations of the government.
We agree. What can he do? He must now. He must. He wouldn't do to us that. He must. He knows that we can do it. He must deal with us. So that was why the Yoruba said no. Whatever it is. So, but what I assure you,
let's keep on praying for President Buhari.
Oga, we have learned our lesson.
We have been in our area here now. They be praying for him.
We have learned our lesson. Kule.
We pray for the prophet because and even our prophet.
No, to tell you the truth, the northern people, notwithstanding the presidency, honestly, the trust at least of the southeast is finished. And I assure you too, in Yoruba land, listen to me. I am coming. I am coming.
Really helped Northerners in 1979.
I am coming, please.
They helped Shagari.
Listen to me. Not that they help themselves, gentlemen, please. We don't need anybody in this country. They help themselves. Let me ask you a question, sir. Let me ask you a question. Between cars, industries, and human beings, who are more in number?
I did not Northerners now.
Not number. I'm not talking of population. I'm talking of economy now. I'm talking of cars, the motors that we drive.
Yes.
And industries that we have. Yes. If you put them on one part and you put human being on the other part, who are more in number?
Cars are more.
Cars are more than human beings?
Human being.
Good. Two, if you put fuel and food by the side, which one is consumed more?
Is food now.
Good. And we have food. So Igbos are actually helping themselves. Let me tell you, even in Yoruba land, let me tell you what they will do to Igbo this time. What Oba of Lagos said that we are pushing them to the ocean. Most of these markets that are burning in Lagos, look at it, they are Igbo-dominated markets. You get me? In fact, some Yorubas were telling me when I was in Lagos last weekend that it is we, the Northerners, when we are in charge of Lagos as federal capital, that open room for Igbos to come and dominate them. And it's over now. And it's over. All the businesses Igbos are doing, we are going to bring it and do it. Do you get me? Fashola for the past 5 years have refused to approve any industry, especially pharmaceutical, to Igbo people. Find out.
You are right. I get you. Are right.
Do you get me?
Right.
So the Yorubas in these 4 years, that's what we are telling ourselves. If we in the North want to be useless again, let us be. But the Yoruba people in the 4 years, they want to control their land completely. That's why Buhari have to sign that Lagos is going to be given special status. We are going to have a kind of semi-regional system. Lagos is going to have special status. It means nobody again will control Lagos. The indigenes of Lagos are the ones that are going to control Lagos. They can form land policies. Do you get me? They may decide to say, you as a Yoruba man in Lagos, you will pay 5,000 naira per annum for a land. As naira in. Me as a Hausa man, I will pay 10,000 naira. Igbo man will pay 1 million naira. This is why they are heading for. Do you get me? So now, unfortunately, again, the attitude of the Igbos have made the illiterate Northerners who have not gone to school to realize now, I say they are powerful. They are the one who give these people land to stay. They are the one who give them food by the power of God. Yes. They are the one who accommodated them by the power of God. Do you get me?
Yes.
Some of you are waiting and be like, oh, wow. It's like you are hearing that for the first time, yeah? Or maybe you've heard it before, but you didn't remember all the wordings again. That is why you have Maiyegun's diary. I am somebody who I keep record. When I see what I want, I love to remind my friends that, do you remember this? They were talking about Nigeria. Did you see all he said in that video? I mean, that audio? It's like they've had everything figured out. Buhari has moved military headquarters to Borno. Buhari is going to defeat Boko Haram. Then they are going to make sure that they send all the Igbos out of Yoruba land. For any Igbo to stay in Yoruba land, they will give them this treatment of having to pay more so that they can send them away. And in the other hand, today, Ibikunle Amosun, former governor, is now a senator representing Ogun Central in Abuja as a senator, making laws for the unity of Nigeria. Shetima is also a former governor of Borno State. He is also a senator right now in Abuja, making law for the unity of one Nigeria. Do you really think that make any sense? So if you have been asking yourself, why is Nigeria not working? Because you have been deceived for too long. I have another part I want to share, just a tiny bit, to give you more detail of that Nigeria they are telling you, which is a complete farce, a complete lie. Every time they are looking for opportunity of committing genocide against one another, politicians are scheming to do that, and they will need to control their own people, the poor people that they have weaponized poverty against. They will then control them to go and begin the killing by profiling people, just same way they are using the military to massacre the Igbo people right now, massacre the Biafrans, take them, kidnap them, deny them justice, and also expect them to still come back and say, we are one Nigeria, one united country. We don't want to talk about it. Just call us one Nigeria. How does that work? How? Listen to this part.
It was Rocha State, Imo State, that they started saying that Hausa people must have ID card to live in that state.
Yes.
Can you hear me? They say Hausa people must have ID card to live in state.
Yes.
Until when we mobilize our people here and say, okay, in that case, all Southerners must live north. Then Jonathan now realized that there was something going on. He said, no, these things have to stop. So are we mad? Do you get me? Count every 5 shops in this north. 4 shops are owned by Igbos. What is Igbo's contribution in the economy? It's not trade, and fraudulent trade for that matter, including Igbo have cheated you, unless if you are not buying spare parts and tires and medicine. So or not so?
It's so allergic.
Do you get me? Yet we accommodated them. Is it going to Dubai to bring fake drugs that we cannot do it? Now the plan is drugs now. No Igbo man will again sell drugs in this north. We are going to bring it from Kano. Drugs are brought by air. They are going to open massive coolers, rooms in Kano and import it all north, and maybe whatever want to buy, come and buy from Kano. No Igbo will sell drugs again. We are tired of all this nonsense. We know how to control our places the way they control their own. What we are saying is that we are all Nigerians, but we are going to learn what they are doing in Southeast and do it in the North too. Simple. Yes. We don't have ancestors, but if Buhari today, as president of this country, want to buy land in the East, he will go and negotiate everything. Tomorrow the chiefs will come and tell him that ancestors made them yesterday night and said they should not sell the land for them. So we don't have ancestors. Or we are betraying ourselves. We, our ancestors have told us that we have been careless. That's why we suffered for the past 6 years. We have to wake up now. It's a very serious thing.
Move forward.
No. We cannot, sir. The society is already adulterated. That's why, to be honest to you, let me tell you, to be honest to you, we never wanted Buhari in this law. We wanted Konkoso.
Yes.
We want.
That's what I'm saying.
If it is Konkoso,
the primary, Konkoso will have defeated Buhari.
Listen to me. Hey, you know the Tinubus and Co prefer Buhari because they can.
He really tried.
Can you hear me? Because Konkoso will have solved this north-south problem for us within 6 months. In Kano, Konkoso gathered all the Igbos and told them that all these drugs that he closed all those fake drugs they are selling in Kano. They know him now. So that's why we wanted Konkoso to be the Igbos made in Abuja and warned us after the election that they were the ones in charge of 75% of Abuja is their own. They should be given minister of. Can you imagine? Negotiate and say this is the governor they want with their rulers, everything. Igbo say no, he cannot be governor. Haba. In somebody's land. Haba. The arrogance is too much. So 10 years ago, I warned it. I said the Igbos are building nation within our nation. They will engage us within our nation and reinforce from their nation. That is exactly what we saw during the tenure of Jonathan. Immediately we voted Jonathan. What we did to Jonathan in this north, Igbos in the north, their chiefs, gathered and came to Aso Villa. To the glare of everybody on TV, they say it was nobody that voted Jonathan, but the Igbos were the ones who voted him. Did you not hear that one? Did you not read it? In our own land, Igbos say we didn't vote Jonathan. It was they that voted Jonathan. 2, before elections again, they gathered themselves and came and met Jonathan. I met in Abuja and said that they are directing all Igbos in the north must vote Jonathan. We don't mind. Let them vote anybody. But can you do that in the southeast? They stop us from even voting. Let me answer this. Amina alaikum salam.
Alaji.
Unzone.
We call let's talk in the night. Alaji. Thank you.
Can you hear me? In the southeast, all houses in the southeast were prevented from voting. Find out. Yes, find out. But yet in our own land, they will stand and say that. It is their problem that forced above Lagos to say that if they try to frustrate the decision of the Yorubas, they will send them to ocean. And I'm telling you, after 4 years, at least not we are liberal, but in the southwest, after 4 years, Igbos can never be useful, relevant again in the southeast. Wait and see. In fact, the plan of APC is that they are going to make alliance of northwest economic development. The west has the ocean. Can you hear me?
Yes.
The north has agricultural produce.
Yes.
So what they are going to do, the government is going to develop all the agricultural and mineral resources in the north. And then they will put primary industries here. And then go and export, finally finish them in Lagos or Southwest and export them and bring back the money and share it between the two regions. Let them bring their oil. This is the plan on ground.
Let's just pray for success of General Buhari. For that, his success is our success. For that, we can benefit better.
It's true.
That's our prayer now. That's our prayer here. Everybody is praying for his success for that. If he's successful, everybody is successful.
God help us.
No,
but not to the extent of living the way we are. Our prayer now is that may God remove the influence of the Southeast in our region. That's all what we are praying left and right now. I'm telling you.
I like you, okay.
No. The Boko Haram, these people are catch red-handed with bombs. Who are supplying the weapons? Who killed General Shua? They think we don't know. They were saying that they were revenging what they did to them in Biafra. Biafra was a war. It was a state war. Trying to bring them back to the nation. No, be so? Do you get me? Some useless idiots started Boko Haram, but there was hand. Don't worry, investigation will reveal everything now. Don't worry. We were just exercising patience, looking at what is happening. That is typical Northern. That's how we are. Just look at what is happening. But we drew a line. 2014, 2015 they call it. It is the end of it. Whether anybody wins or don't win is okay. That was our decision, honestly. And they met in Enugu and listen to me. They met and saw it that in the event of cutting it, why will they put their people? That's why the man has to surrender now. Let him. In fact, some of us preferred him to have been resistant, so that we redefine this country. I'm telling you.
A lot of casualty will be many.
Nothing like killing. Let everybody go his way. Ha! Is it not rain that is falling in the north now? We have the food. What is oil? Look at Niger. Rano is still selling oil. He's bringing it from Niger. What is the big deal? It is when they met and saw the danger of any attempt. That was how they surrendered. But honestly, we have already made up our mind. Because we said to ourselves, if you don't, even if you stay, they are going to kill you. Abi? Under Jonathan, from Namadi Sambo down to the lowest person in the north is a Boko Haram. They can pick you whoever you are. We know that. At least we are part of the.
It's a long call. And I can read your comments where some of you are already saying, oh, my blood is boiling. There's more. If you know the truth about these characters who are presenting themselves as honorable men, distinguished men and women, if you understand their art and what they are working on, and when you look at why is everything not working, how can the Boko Haram be defeating military? What is going on? Then you will realize that you are just about to run yourself mad, trying to wonder like, why should Nigerian army be flying private fighter jets, looking for ESN in the east, bombing innocent people, shooting and killing innocent people? When Boko Haram publicly said they shot down the Nigerian fighter jet, to this day, it's been over a week, to this day, the bodies of the two pilots who died in that crash, their bodies are still with the Boko Haram. And there is no helicopter searching that place in Sambisa. There is no military convoy going into Sambisa. Rather, the news we receive is that Boko Haram, they ambushed Nigerian convoy on their way from God knows where, and they collected 28 million naira from them. Because the Nigerian military, they are killing people in Olu. They are killing people in Obigbo. They are killing people in Enugu, killing people in Aba, destroying properties everywhere, intimidating civilians. While terrorists continue to run amok, run berserk, and those who came out to collect their rubber after they have repented, you see? And he kept using the word, we will show the Igbos. We are determined. We will do this. Look at what is going on. It is a plan book. It is a playbook that if you pay attention to it, they will kill more. And the only message they have to spread, to share, is that of fear. Fear. We're going to kill you. We're coming with AK-47. This and that. If you don't accept our terms, we're going to kill you. Fear. Fear. But when you listen to that audio again, you would hear where he said Buhari was going to defeat Boko Haram. Kwakwanso was going to unite the North and the West. And they are going to cut off the Igbos. If they want to go, they should go. Before they will let the Igbos go, they will make sure that there will be so much insecurity that Biafrans will not be relevant in Biafra. That's what he said, though. They will increase the insecurity there. And he also said part of their plan, as part of what God knows what they told Tifnumbu. This is the one we heard on the phone. Oh. God knows what they told Tifnumbu that he's believing in. That 2023, they will give him that. Part of what that Shetima said was that Boko Haram was going to sign something that's going to give Lagos State special status now that they have the power. And the next 4 years, they are going to destroy all the Igbos. They are going to make sure that all the businesses the Igbos are doing, they will make sure they start doing them. They will make sure that no Igbo businessman into pharmaceutical or medical businesses or supplies will be given any licenses to establish any new pharmaceutical companies in the Yoruba land, because the Fashola, a Yoruba governor, has been secretly denying potential investors in pharmaceutical businesses in Lagos State simply because they were Igbos. I hope you picked that up. This was 6 years ago. So when they talk about uniting Nigeria, why are they not uniting? Do you know that in that 6 years, the government of Boko Haram, they have destroyed the forex? Who are those who uses Nigerian forex more? Apart from the politicians who steal your money, change it to naira, to dollar or pounds or any country they want to go to, and they will go there and spend your money. And the businessmen and women, Igbo men and Yoruba men and women, who are doing international business, and who controls this? Let's be honest. Who controls the international businesses, importation businesses in Nigeria? The Igbos. Now, the accusation is, oh, they are the promoters and the suppliers of fake goods. That is so convenient, isn't it? Well, very convenient. Let us call the Igbo men who import fake products as the what do you call it? As the real picture of all the genuine Igbo businessmen who are spending billions of dollars every month to serve the Nigerian economy, which is import dependent. Nigeria doesn't produce anything. It has to be bought abroad and brought into the country. Now, who allows fake products into the country other than your corrupt custom, your corrupt government officials? So if an Igbo man or a Yoruba man who is trying to bring in substandard products into the country, right? And you have a very well-guided border where you have well-paid custom officials, okay, who can prevent smuggling, one, control smuggling, and at the same time, stop importation of substandard products. If they are doing their job, would those fake businessmen bring those fake products to Nigeria? What is the standard? When you want to blame an Igbo businessman, Yoruba businessman involved in I'm not actually supporting it, by the way, but I'm trying to tell you that when you blame that Igbo fake businessman or a Yoruba or any other type fake businessman importing substandard something into your country, remember, some people are collecting bribe and they are clearing that substandard product into the country. So it is convenient for you to say, they are supplying fake products. What is the job of your government? By profiling them? What about those other multi-billionaire businesses that they bring into that economy that runs the port in Lagos? Are those also fake? So they have made you believe that by also abdicating their own responsibility as government. The same way they couldn't protect your border, land, here, sea, or what do you call it? They couldn't protect you. Terrorists are crossing from the neighboring country, strolling into Nigeria, massacring Nigeria in their thousands, and no one is being arrested. Whenever they are arrested, your government has no law, no court to prosecute them. They will give them amnesty. So if they say Igbo businessmen are bringing fake drug, canceling the pharmaceutical investment is the solution, because that is what a united country would do, isn't it? You don't have a country. When are you going to tell yourself that is a lie? You've taken too far. Now they are saying, okay, let us sit down together and discuss breaking everything up. So everybody could find the whole level. You said, no. We are going to kill them. They have a plot. The reason why Nigeria is not working, the reason why it will never work is because Nigeria is not made to work. And they even have a fake book called the Constitution. A constitution that the people never voted on. People never know the content. The president they sworn in when the military handed the fake document to democracy or democratic government. The president, Obasanjo, did not know the content of that book. And that is the Constitution. He swore to protect. Look at Nigeria. That is why Buhari can get away with anything, because this fake book allows it. And some people are saying, enough. Instead of us waiting to be killed, we will challenge this status quo. Whatever is that thing that is making the northern elite to continue to think, keeping Nigeria one under this divisive arrangee that continue to profile some people as not Nigerian enough, simply because of where they come from, or which religion they follow or worship. This is the book that allows that nonsense. It will break up.
Did you know that the 1999 Constitution was promulgated by the Military Decree 24 of 1999? And to think of it, this 1999 Constitution was never subjected to a referendum.
Did you also know that this 1999 Constitution was written by a selected few that never got the consent of the indigenous nationalities or its representation?
Did you know that after writing the 1999 Constitution, it was hidden from the public until after the inauguration of President Obasanjo in 1999?
Funny enough, This 1999 constitution was not printed by the government press or any known printers in 1999.
Did you know that the 1999 Constitution created a unitary government as against the projected federal government, and this forged an inefficient over-centralized government, as well as creating a centralized judiciary whom has never been autonomous?
In all this, did you know that this 1999 constitution falsely and maliciously claims that the indigenous nationalities willingly handed over their lands and resources to the federal government?
And interestingly, did you know that the 1999 Constitution calls state governors chief security officers, but at the same time centralized all the security agencies and denies these state governors control over any of the security agencies?
And finally, do you know that the illegitimate 1999 Constitution in Section 6, subsection 6C, absolves the government from liabilities regarding rights of the citizens as provided in Chapter 2, making this right not justifiable?
This and many more are the reasons why corruption, unaccountability, incompetence, and insecurity are institutionalized in Nigeria.
That's some summary information of what you need to know about that constitution called 1999 Constitution. That is the reason why Buhari can rule Nigeria from anywhere. A dead man can rule Nigeria without even going to Nigeria at all. All right? And Nigeria, with the level of insecurity you have now, corruption and poverty, yeah, they will make sure that, a dead man can be ruling you without even visiting Nigeria at all. And when that is going to happen, Yorubas are not going to be part of it. And we are not going to be, even if they have to force us to be part of it, we are not going to be part of it without a fight. I know our Biafran brothers are already, they're already on the course. They are not going to be forced to be part of a Nigeria where a dead man can rule from anywhere of any part of the world. We will not be part of it. For those who wants to be, I think it will be their choice. If you have a chance of being in London tomorrow, listen to me. If you're watching this video, Sunday, the 11th of April, tomorrow, I'm going to be in London too. I missed my flight the last time, and I think I've made proper and better arrangements now. I won't miss it this time around. If you are free tomorrow in London, join us anytime from 11 a.m. I should be in London by between 7 and 8. I should be in London, and then anytime from then, you know what I mean, I should join you before 11 a.m. So if you live close by, if the distance of your driving won't be that far, of course, come around. I would like to see you and say hello. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. The governor that is saying the protest in London, the London vacation protest against Buhari, that Zamfara governor, that Zamfara criminal that is calling that the South versus North, is going to rally their base. Is going to make their base believe that. And before you know it, they are going to change it to London protest is organized by Biafrans. I am a Yoruba man. I am Onoduduwa's son. I am going to go there tomorrow to tell Buhari, scream, and remind him he does not belong here. He should go back to the hellhole he's created and force people to stay in, killing them every day. We will have him go there until he does, because the news is that they are planning to extend his stay. Now we will make that comfortable for him. I'm going to be in London, and when you are there, say hi when you see me. I would love to say hi too. So thank you thank you very much, everyone. And if you have if you haven't really liked or subscribed on Maiyegun's Diary, do that. I have an update for you. I almost forgot. Okay. The Akonji, you remember our brother that we were trying to raise some money for, the footballer who is currently in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. So I have received a total of, including donation on the one donation on the Cash App. The total money we've raised for him now in pounds is now 423 pounds. That in dollars means that we have raised over $500 for him. I am going to be sending that money to him tomorrow. Okay. So, and then, he will get the receipt of that, and I will keep the receipt myself. To every one of you who reached out, I received your messages. Okay. At a proper time, I will list your name just as usual to let you know that I got your support. And Akonji is so grateful. He's pretty much grateful. He's been so thankful since the time I told him that we've gotten that much. So every one of you who reached out, thank you, God, as whatever you believe in will replenish your pockets. More than that. Thanks so much for reaching out to those. Mrs. Victoria Idakpani, that is the wife of Corporal Martins Idakpani. Corporal Martins is the soldier that we also raised the GoFundMe support fund for his family, Mrs. Victoria. I want to tell you guys tonight, I have also, I've had a few chance of talking to Mrs. Victoria Idakpani behind the scene, and she's been telling me her husband is still pretty much in the custody of the Nigerian army. They've denied him his lawyer access, denied him all the legal representation that he's been having. They've kept him incommunicado, and there was a time it was rumored to have died, but the Nigerian army came out to deny that. However, the wife, Mrs. Victoria Idakpani, who is also watching us on this broadcast tonight, she is still facing that same issue. I have told her that some other update she gave to me. I'm going to find a time that we are going to actually pick that up again to remind every one of us that for this brilliant soldier coming out to ask the chief of army staff, who is now retired, Burataye the Butcher, to stop the genocide and the, sending the soldiers to their death, right? And to stop the killing of the innocent civilians, because they are paid and trained to protect civilians, not to kill them. Corporal Martins Idakpani is still pretty much in military detention in Nigeria. We will talk more about this later. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. And to Akonji, if you are watching, we are closing our donation now. Please, if you are watching this video, right, and you know about the fundraiser for Akonji, please, you can stop all donations now. Okay? Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your support always. I'm going to see you in London tomorrow. And if you have to keep it a date with me, remember, you must subscribe in order not to miss anything. Yes, I'll be in London, and I'm going to meet a lot of people there. Until then, do this before you go. I'll see you later. Good night.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ayẹ̀kú ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. lórí Facebook
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Maiyegun ti dé.
lórí YouTube
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Maiyegun ti dé.
bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Maiyegun ti dé.
jíjó ìgbádìyẹ
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Maiyegun ti dé.
pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Maiyegun ti dé.
kí gómìnà gbówó jẹ
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Maiyegun ti dé.
ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Maiyegun ti dé.
aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Maiyegun ti dé.
òkúra olóṣèlú
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn làjú
Maiyegun ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. àyè
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.